we got Darvish here. We're going to be looking just at his hip rotation mechanics in relation to the way that he rotates his trunk. A big thing that I talk about is like it's really hard as throwers to constantly be thinking about like the movement of your trunk and constantly thinking about delay, right? So like when we do screenings or when I do analysis or whatever, like I talk about delaying the trunk rotation, but in reality, as a pitcher, I would say, or as a thrower, I would say it's easier to think about the hand and the arm swing than it is to think about delaying the trunk, because again, the trunk is not going to rotate until the hand or the arm comes up into its throw position or its power position, whatever you want to call it, right? So essentially by like delaying the hand or delaying the arm swing, that's when we can delay the trunk, okay? So now that we got that out of the way, I just want to showcase Darvish's, this whole dynamic of how he does so many things really well and his ability to segment his rotation of his hips. So we're going to see the hip rotation going to go, but we're going to see the trunk rotation. Again, it goes back to like that whole delay thing, but it's also, more so specifically delaying the hand. And I don't even know if delaying the hand is the right phrase, just kind of arm swing, hand raise on time. I've done a lot of stuff on like how early a lot of guys struggle with getting the hand up early, which leaks the trunk. So again, coming down here from peak leg lift, hopefully I have these guys, 2 videos here synced at ball release, but obviously does a lot of things really well. Look at the ability he has to freaking just engage those things and sit and hide the ball too. Pretty dang well. He's pretty impressive. Now, so as he is going to now continue his descend, this is where we notice kind of in the foot positioning, and I guess the knee, in timing which that hip rotation is going to occur, right? Because we talk about like heel connection and all that stuff, but like heel disconnect, the heel's going to get disconnected when the hip internally rotates. We just need to make sure that that's on time. So we'll see it here coming up. So now you'll see the heel come up. Now the timing in which this knee is going to probably crack forward and the rear hip is going to then start its rotation process, okay? But look where his hand is in relation to when his hip rotation is occurring, okay? So it's occurring now, his hand is down, okay? So now we come up. Now the hip rotation is really getting going. See how he's keeping his pelvis closed. And now the hand is going to just come up in time for a front foot strike to happen. So this is that velocity enhancing move that I talk about. Yikes, that's not the play right there. So the hand, whoa, man. The hand just coming up when the foot is just coming down. So now look at what we have, in this picture, right? You can see the full belt, but look how his trunk is neutral still, right? So his trunk is neutral and his hips are rotating, so he has that ability to segment. The only way he did that was making sure that that hand was on time, getting into this position that he's in now in relation to front foot strike. Now the danger is, as a thrower, to constantly be thinking about this and be like, all right, I got to do this and this. And now you're starting to think about positioning, when positioning is really, really hard to think about in a series of moves that's happening, in a matter of freaking milliseconds. So that's why like getting the right drill progressions is so crucial, because that allows us to not think about the actual moving parts and the positionings. You just train those motor patterns. But look how, again, just looking over here, trunk is neutral, hips are into rotation, front foot's down. Now his job is just to stabilize with this lead leg. Now once he does that, trunk rotation's coming through. Let's rephrase that. Now the hip rotation is going to get completed. Okay, now as the hip rotation gets completed, that's when the trunk comes through. Okay, so then the trunk's going to come through. The trunk rotation is going to actually pull the arm through into slot, as we see here. pulls the arm through. And that's power, dude. That's power. So again, heel disconnects when it's time to begin its internal rotation process. Notice the hand positioning. Now this is going to swing up while this foot is going to swing down. Wham. So now, opposite, strong lead leg, trunk neutral, hips into rotation, linear energy. Okay, well, it's a really good painted picture there. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, you Darvish, man. Kind of good. Deuces.